So I have some good news. I didn't want to go saying anything just yet, but having a German Shepherd Community Watchdog and cybersecurity topics on how we can better make our neighborhood safer and our community safer. So when I think about a topic like home and cybersecurity, Family Talk Radio, firewalls, cookies, and InfoWars, you know what? We could all be the subject of all kinds of stuff now. There's our privacy, and this is definitely privacy when it comes to smart meters. Information that can be made available to anybody. Everyone is on the same grid. At some point or another, somebody's going to turn up information on something that happened. What we saw in the whole debate with Judge Kavanaugh, with how people could drudge up something that happened 20, 30 years ago. We're not talking about that a lot of times with rape crimes. When it comes to real crimes, we're not talking about testimonies and under oath. We're talking about real assault crimes that went unanswered for. So let's just get into the topic about FedEx, how you guys send and receive, things in the mail through, debit cards. When you swipe a debit card, here's the first thing. No one needs to be handling your debit card unless they have a debit card of their own, or in the case with children, you should be there when your children are making purchases online and at the store. I know this firsthand. Some of you know there's a lot of holes in security. Having been on both sides of this issue, when it comes to debit cards, a lot of times, we're not thinking about it. We're just swiping and, going to the store and walking to your parking lot. Situational awareness. What you can do is make sure you look underneath your vehicles because of the reality of terror attacks. This happened in Oklahoma. This has happened in other regions. Look at just what happened recently. There's things you can do now to pay attention to safety, security issues. OPSEC should be everybody's issue at home. Like basic things like preventing a slip of, there are things you can do, and this is from your insurance companies. They'll tell you the same thing. It takes 2 individuals to prevent an accident. And when I say car accident, same thing. The conditions of the road. If you're not ready to go outside and go to the store, then just stay home. If you're not feeling good, stay home. Don't go out and test the waters and find out something if you can get the information out there. There's a lot of people who are into recreational drugs, recreational sex. To me, those high-risk behaviors, you're putting on yourself but other people in danger. So there's things you can do to rectify some things in your own home, in your family. When you talk to your family about things, fire safety, things going on in the yard. My brother was in an accident on a roof. 2 weeks right after his daughter was born. So to me, there are things you can do to protect yourself and prevent other further concerns. There are other abusers, ex-boyfriends that have been around who have a lot to do with these injuries too. So I have friends that have told me the same thing. I have a lot of good people in my life that tell me that there are people that need to stop lurking around and have some issues. So you can tell, just check your mail, make sure you do a scan, and also I would recommend joining a LifeLock and keeping a Glock nearby. Keep a Glock nearby. It doesn't hurt. Oh, are you okay? Oh, are you okay? You okay? Whew. Oh, we're just sitting here talking about slip and falls. Okay, we're going to break for this here at Family Talk Radio. Basic home security, especially as urban preppers, if you guys are preparing to prep, this is the time to prep and know who is in your circle. Make sure you're careful. This is why that beta test is necessary, guys. You beta test everything and everyone. You make sure once that door is locked, that door is closed. Because the preppers aren't going to let those people do whatever they please when they please. I'll be honest with you. That is the reason. No, what it is it's called home security. It's called home security because of rapes and assaults that went unreported, and they're not going to just let anybody in that easily. So there you go. OPSEC. We have a lot of slip and fall injuries that are worth investigating. And injuries. So when we talk to attorneys, and we have attorneys that we talk to about the dancing bears and who's lighting their crack pipe and who's doing what and who's giving you crack, who's giving you drugs, finding out what's going on in the D.A.R.E program, much more. Up next. I think the message that needs to get across to everybody about building the wall. Why building the wall? For several reasons. Obviously for child safety, because of sex offenders, because there are, and look at the registry, 200 sex offenders in just your region alone, Zillionople. Over almost 200. Registered sex offenders. And what happened in this neighborhood, and the needles all up and down the highway. Guys, we're talking about registered sex offenders who have a history of sexually abusing children and adults. So when we talk about Butler County Children's Services, no matter where you go from this point, you talking out there, you getting out in the public, getting familiar with everybody, talking to people about situational awareness, about safety issues, about the things like the seatbelt law. In 1979, we didn't have seatbelt laws. So now you do. So by you being proactive, laws change. I've seen it with, we didn't have a Macon's Law years ago. Now you have a database that's available to the public. You have apps now. Because there was somebody that was concerned enough to become outspoken to get to the corner on topics like Project Red Light. You want block parent programs in your community. You want to be at that food bank every month and know that your neighbors are okay. You want to know that your neighbors, I was just sitting here I just sat here and saw my neighbor slip and fall. So to me, asking questions about what goes on in your neighborhood safety, issues that matter to you, me, everyone around here, just by illustrating and identifying the concerns right there in itself articulates the concerns that most of us have anyway. It just re-emphasizes that cybersecurity, having what goes on the internet, what goes on with our furniture, with our belongings, who's making transactions online, Craigslist. I mean, before, it used to be that you could take these things lightly, and now with all the security things, let me just say with the Craigslist issue, with the clothes and the shoes and somebody, just destroying somebody's personal belongings, right there in itself says there's all kinds of issues, meaning somebody going downstairs and peeing on somebody's laundry at an apartment building. You say something to the apartment managers. I mean, obviously, there's obviously concerns. Obviously, things get overwhelming at home. It helps to have people to be your eyes and ears of your community. That is what community watchdogs are. To asking questions, talking to each other, paying attention to some of the signs, maybe some, if somebody has an agenda, going down there and, enjoying a nice night out.